good morning, and some more good mornings. Welcome to another episode of Smoked Out Society. I am your host, Havoc 3E. I already see we got 3 people in the building. That's what's up. I got a good one today, bro. I'm telling you right now, shit is wild fucking crazy, bro. The videos I'm gonna play for y'all today are exposing Donald Trump and his these Epstein files are basically opening up doors to fucking shit that should not be opening up. They thinking now Trump has something to do with Jeffrey Epstein. There's even been sightings of Jeffrey Epstein in a whole fucking Bro, I'm going to show y'all some shit today that's fucking wild crazy, bro. We're going to start off with the Epstein shit. Then once we get off with the Epstein, we got to get to Trump. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Trump is a racist piece of shit. All morning, he's been circulating that video depicting Michelle and Barack Obama as gorillas, as monkeys. You should see this video. We're going to play that, but we're going to get right into this Epstein shit. I definitely want to get into the Epstein shit because the shit is wild fucking crazy. I'm telling you, it's just... This dude breaks it down to show the proof that there's a cover-up when it comes to the Epstein. Then we're going to do the Epstein file. He talks about the Epstein file. Like, yo, this whole shit is crazy, bro. This whole shit is just fucking straight up crazy. The reason why we're doing this is because of the fact that, you know, people have said that they're saying that they've seen Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know if there's any truth to that. But good morning, Chaos Truth. How you doing, brother? I don't know if there's any truth to that or not, but I do have some photos on my Facebook. Let me pull it up real quick. Let me make sure I still got it because I saved that shit to my wall because I wanted to play this shit back for you guys. Like I said, this shit is fucking buck wild crazy. Let me see if I can find this shit. Oh, come on, man. I really saved this shit to my wall. I wanted you guys to see this shit. This shit is crazy, bro. I'm not saying it's Jeffrey fucking Epstein, but people are like, yo, that shit looks extremely too fucking identical, bro. I'm telling you, where the fuck is it? Damn. Hold on a second. I know I had that fucking shit. I saved it to my fucking wall, man. Is this it? Wow, it's here, but they removed the fucking picture. Yo, they removed the fucking picture. Hey, yo, they fucking removed the picture. I had a fucking picture depicting whether it was him or not, bro. They fucking removed the fucking picture. All right. I'm going to find that fucking picture for y'all. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find that shit, bro. I'm telling you, they probably fucking removed it. Hey, yo, man. Come on, man. Bro, these niggas is playing themselves, bro. Hey, yo, we're going to get into the video, but I'm telling you right now, they fucking removed the shit, man. I had a fucking shit, man. Bro, man, this is bullshit, man. Hold on a second. Let me see if it's still. This is wild crazy, bro. This is fucking bullshit. I'm telling you. Hold on a second. Yo, this is bullshit. Hey, yo, folks, I had a picture. It was an image. Hold on a second. I got it. I fucking got it. Bro, this is a picture. Here we go. I'm about to pull this up, yo, because this shit is crazy, y'all. And this is not even me with the conspiracy theories. This is what's already out on the motherfucking internet. I got this right here. I'm gonna keep this right here because I want to show. I definitely want to put this out right now. We're gonna get into the Jeffrey Epstein thing, but we got a lot to get into. Donald Trump is fucking up this morning. He's fucking up, posting videos, doing unnecessary shit that got him in a really bad fucking light right now, to the point where he's looking horrible. This shit is wild, bro. But we're gonna definitely start off with the Jeffrey Epstein shit. He fucked up too. He called the Trumps, the Clintons, and he called them on their bluff, and that's exactly what happened. They called them on his bluff, and now they fucked straight up and down. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead, and now he's trying to block their testimony. He don't want the testimony to come out. He don't want them to go public. Now they don't want the shit public. They want it private. Why do you want it private? So you guys can doctor whatever the fuck you want? No, we're not doing that. Yeah, so like I said, we got some crazy shit going on tonight. We're gonna start off with Trump first. Before we get to the Jeffrey Epstein shit, we're gonna start off on Trump. Let's start off on Trump. This shit right here is unnecessary. Let me show you what this idiot did. Just making shit worse for himself.
Introducing the Score Bet for Sunday, Monday, or any day that ends in Y. We're with you every game day.
Donald Trump was absolutely losing it all last night, and words really can't describe how reprehensible his behavior was as he was making post after post, between 50 and 100 posts last night. He started posting photos and videos of former President Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama as monkeys, and he did kind of faces of Michelle and Barack and their face over gorillas and monkeys. That is the most vile, despicable of posts, of many vile and despicable posts that Donald Trump has made. It's absolutely disqualifying. It's absolutely impeachable. It's absolutely vile conduct. He needs to be removed. Trump needs to be arrested. He needs to be prosecuted. He needs to get the hell out of there. And as I think right now about my baby girl, 16 months old, sleeping in the other room as I'm recording this video, and I think of this piece of filth in Donald Trump in the Oval Office, making post after post last night like this, It is so utterly sickening to me. He was posting photos as well of Bruce Lee randomly and videos of Bruce Lee. He's posting more lies about the 2020 election and posting deranged things like 1 minute and 2 seconds seditious spirit conspiracy captured on tape data analysis finds that 221,000 Pennsylvania votes switched from President Trump to Biden. He's posting photos of himself with Viktor Orban, and it's calling Viktor Orban, who's a Putin bootlicker, just like Donald Trump. Trump says a highly respected leader. No, Orban is not a highly respected leader. He's a traitor to the world, and he's a Putin bootlicker, just like Donald Trump, who has a photo of Vladimir Putin in the Oval Office. Look at these two thugs. Look at these two despicable pieces of trash right there, desecrating the Oval Office. Oh, and Donald Trump continued to panic and make these posts trying to say, I'm not friends with Epstein. I don't know Epstein at all. And then he's like posting photos of himself and Epstein. I mean, he's absolutely losing it last night. And if you're also wondering, like, why was he, what's he even doing right here? So the video or the photo of Barack Obama and Michelle Obama with the Photoshop like that, this is the video that Donald Trump posted. I'll just show you a portion of it here. Play this clip.
Counting resumed. There was a massive spike occurred that favored Joe Biden.
Donald Trump was panicking all last night as the fallout continues over the release of the Trump files. I mean, the Epstein files. I mean, Donald Trump's name does appear 38,000 times in it and over 5,000 documents, and it's only been a partial release. 3 million documents have still not been produced. Let me talk about what Donald Trump is doing. Just a reminder, hit subscribe, help us get to 6 million subscribers. We're less than 80,000 subscribers away from 6 million subs. Help us get to there. Donald Trump is posting the following. Julian Assange said there's no dirt on President Trump. Even when Obama was spying on him, he cannot find anything to compromise Trump. He is clean. That's why all they can do now is recycle old allegations that are unproven and have already been debunked. And Donald Trump is reposting some account called Stop World Control. Oh, wow. How could we argue with that, Donald? What in the world are you talking about? The Epstein files, I mean, the Trump files were just released. Your name appears 38,000 times in some of the most grotesque and vile ways. Then you've attacked former President Clinton and say we should focus on him. And then former President Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said, we want to testify publicly. And then you said, oh, I actually like Bill Clinton. I feel very bad that he has to testify publicly. Do you know how bad that makes you look? Because you've done really bad things, Donald. Your dark past is coming to light, and you don't like it one bit. Donald Trump then posts a photo of Mount Rushmore, and he goes, it's time to put President Trump on Mount Rushmore. Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna has sponsored legislation to put the 45th and 47th president on this national memorial. And Donald Trump goes, wow, so nice. Really, as Americans are psychologically tortured living paycheck to paycheck right now, if they're lucky enough to get a paycheck, Americans can't afford rent. You had some of the worst job claims that just came out. Job losses are the worst since the Great Recession. And this is what you're talking about. And then you're trying to shake down New York and Virginia and other states to put your name now on Penn Station and Dulles Airport. And you're saying, well, if you put my name on those airports, I'll release the funding to New York for the Gateway Project. And I'll release money to just put my name on Dulles and put my name on Penn Station. Dude, what in the world are you talking about? Also, Bitcoin is crashing, lost nearly 50% of its value since October. It is down dramatically since Trump took office. Everything Donald Trump touches dies. Like, that's incredibly true. Remember when Donald Trump, when he was campaigning, was at the Bitcoin conference, and Donald Trump said, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Here, play this clip.
All right, look, I don't know who needs to hear this, but my man just tried that new 100 milligram generic Viagra for only 87 cents a pop.
Bitcoin is going to the moon, as we say, it's going to the moon. I want America to be the nation that leads the way, and that's what's going to happen. No, you're going to be very happy with me.
Not going to the moon, you're going to maybe the Earth's core because it's going down, 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 down. But again, while American people are suffering worse job losses claims since the Great Recession, Donald Trump is posting things like this. Then he deleted it quickly. Posted, then deleted. He goes for the...
What's good, Our Society Productions, yo? This is a crazy-ass morning. Once again, I appreciate everybody that's in here. We got 4 people in the building. Make 5. Make sure you hit that like button. I appreciate y'all. Good morning to everybody. Yo, this is a crazy-ass morning, bro. I got videos that can prove that Jeffrey Epstein was either released or was murdered. And it doesn't help the fact that this morning there are pictures flooding the internet that they supposedly seen someone who fits the exact description of fucking Jeffrey Epstein in Tel Aviv walking around with 3 armed security guards, long hair, gray beard. They're saying that, yo, I got the photos. I got it. This shit is rapid fire this morning. They're saying that possibly the only reason, if this is true, he probably faked his death because this would probably be the only way to get this shit out. Like I said, I don't know. This is all speculation, people. I got the photo and the article to show you of people saying that they spotted him in Tel Aviv. You be the judge. When you look at this photo, that looks like fucking Jeffrey Epstein to me. I'm going to keep it real, people. We're going to finish this up here, and I'm going to show. I'm just waiting for some more people to come in. Please share this shit out. In my heart, that shit likes Jeffrey Epstein to me. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep it 100. That shit truly does. Let's get back to the video.
First time in 5 years, a majority of Americans say their personal finances are improving. This is just the beginning of the Trump economic boom. And Trump was getting absolutely roasted on X, formerly Twitter of all places. So he had to take that down because people are like, what in the world are you talking about? I mean, take a look at the latest Rasmussen poll. They're as friendly of a Trump pollster as you can be. They're basically propaganda polling for Donald Trump. They have his approval on Rasmussen at 41% and disapproval at 57%. You really can't get much worse than that when it comes to Rasmussen. But you said, Donald, that not a lot of new information is coming to light. Well, I did a deep dive yesterday on how it appears that Epstein was back channeling with you, in my opinion. Of course, I'm giving you my First Amendment freedom of speech opinion, up until his death. And now we're seeing that the record regarding his death, lots of contradictions there. Who entered Epstein's jail tier the night of his death? Newly released video logs appear to contradict official accounts. Newly released Department of Justice documents show that investigators reviewing surveillance footage from the night of Jeffrey Epstein's death observed an orange-colored shape moving up a staircase toward the isolated locked tier where his cell was located at approximately 10:39 p.m. on August 9th, 2019, which contradicts official accounts per CBS. Should also be noted that we're seeing messages like this. Epstein email references about meeting Don Trump Jr. all the way through 2019 and having lunch. Jeffrey Epstein being involved with Sarah Ferguson, was once part of the British royal family, but like Prince Andrew, not anymore, but for different reasons, but whatever. Why would Jeffrey Epstein be involved in Celebrity Apprentice casting emails? And you have Sarah Ferguson emailing Jeffrey Epstein about her appearing on The Apprentice. So apparently Epstein was involved or had some role with The Apprentice also. Interesting. But for Donald Trump, it's him posting messages about Laura Loomer. Sheesh, Donald Trump repost. Sheesh. Laura Loomer just confronted Jake Tapper. Sheesh. Again, here's Bloomberg's headline: worst January for U.S. jobs since the Great Recession. But for Donald Trump, it's sheesh. Laura Loomer. I mean, again, how disconnected can you possibly be from the American people and what everybody's going through now? Let me share this with you as well. Former Trump voter who spoke with our friends over at Status Quo. As you know, we've been working with the folks at Status Quo. They've been covering the protests and they've been covering up the invasion of Minnesota by Donald Trump and his dastardly regime and ICE and Border Patrol Gestapo. They've interviewed this guy who was at the protest. Interesting what he had to say, that he sees a lot of people at the protests who are Trump voters and Republicans who are protesting ICE and Border Patrol Gestapo. By the way, did you see the professional wrestling videos that have been circulating where the fans, like, these World Wrestling fans, AW fans and others, they're all like, F ICE, F ICE, F ICE, So anyway, here's this former MAGA guy. Here's what he's talking about with ICE and Border Patrol Gestapo invading his city. Play this clip.
I know a lot of Republicans,
This is the ED. It's not for the
Goddamn commercial.
Welcome back. Who else is going to get this place through the 4th of July?
a lot of former MAGA people that are fed up with this too. I mean, it's not just the left out here. There's a lot of right-wing people here in these protests. So.
And where do you typically lie on the left-right spectrum?
I'm gonna be honest. I voted for Trump twice, and the first two times, and then I didn't vote the third time because I just thought he was a buffoon. But I only voted for him because I was just fed up with the economy. I voted with my wallet because I never used to be that much into politics. But then I watched them straight up execute a guy on the pavement, and then it's like, maybe I ought to pay attention. So
was Alex Preddy's death really a catalyst for you?
Yeah, it was the inflection point. It was like what got my attention.
This is a Trump supporter, people. That was a MAGA. That man said he voted for Trump every time Trump ran. Do you hear that? I'm going to play that back again. That was a fucking diehard Trump supporter. I want to play back because, there's a lot of Trump supporters that watch my channel and they don't want to fucking take accountability. Once again, this is a diehard Trump supporter. I'm playing this again.
Border Patrol Gestapo invading his city. Play this clip.
I know a lot of Republicans, a lot of former MAGA people that are fed up with this too. I mean, it's not just the left out here. There's a lot of right-wing people here in these protests. So.
And where do you typically lie on the left-right spectrum?
I'm gonna be honest. I voted for Trump twice, and the first two times, and then I didn't vote the third time because I just thought he was a buffoon. But I only voted for him because I was just fed up with the economy. I voted with my wallet because I never used to be that much into politics. But then I watched them straight up execute a guy on the pavement, and then it's like, maybe I ought to pay attention. So
was Alex Preddy's death really a catalyst for you?
Yeah, it was the inflection point. It was like what got my attention.
And then can we just contrast all of that to what this was New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani's press conference yesterday. Like, he's talking about childcare, and it's just so wholesome and decent and good. Like, this is what leadership can look like. And there's a reason that Zoran Mamdani, like Donald Trump's approval is tanking. Zoran Mamdani's approval is through the roof, right? He's as popular as it can be on a bipartisan basis because he's actually focused on the people here. Play this clip of Mamdani. Let's play this clip.
We will also work to welcome more family and home-based childcare providers into our programs. That's how I felt when we came up with this plan. For too long, these providers have been cut off from participating. Together, we will expand the idea of what is possible in our city and what sounds and noises we can make at a press conference. That expansion begins in a real, tangible way today with the launch of our RFI and expansion survey.
I'm going to do another video this morning about Donald Trump's ambassador to Poland, who's been attacking Poland and Poland's political leadership, and he's been pissing everybody off right there. So I'm going to do a whole video on how these furious world leaders are striking back. And by the way, Donald Trump held this bogus event about how he's saying that prescription drug prices have never been.
Yeah, we know that's a fucking lie. We know that's an absolute motherfucking lie. Yeah, but you see that, bro? That's just the beginning. That's just the tipping point of what I have this morning for you guys on the Jeffrey Epstein situation. I have files up the ass. I have videos. That was just this shit is getting worse and worse for him, bro. There's no fucking he has no standing right now. He's looking bad. They done banned his ambassador. That's another thing. Another fatal blow to the Trump. His ambassadors are getting banned. But before we go on to anything else, Trump, I want to continue on the topic. You know, we got 7 people in the building. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. I want to keep on the topic of the Jeffrey Epstein thing. Now, like I told you guys earlier, this shit is all over the internet. It's rapid fire. It's gaining momentum. There are people who said that they also, there's different versions of the photo. This is the latest that I got. I'm going to pull it up. Like I said, I've looked at the photo. It's not fake. It's real. This was sent by several people from Tel Aviv. I don't even know where the fuck Tel Aviv is right now. I'm going to keep it 100. What's up? Yo, Irv, please pay attention to what I'm about to show you, because if you didn't see the first half of my show, you're about to freak the fuck out. So, folks, for the last 24 hours, the internet has been getting flooded. Everyone, like I said, I don't know where the fuck Tel Aviv is. That's in some whole nother fucking country or something. Israel. Thank you. Thanks a lot, RS Society. This is what's been coming in from fucking Israel. This is what's been being flooded in from Israel. You guys make your own motherfucking whatchamacallit. You can make up your own motherfucking minds on what you think. This is some shit right here, bro. This is one of many photos that's all over the internet, bro, right now. This was sent from different people in Tel Aviv, I guess Israel, sending this shit and flooding the internet saying that this is what they saw. Why is this person walking with 3 security guards surrounding him? Hey, yo, come on, man. Look at that fucking picture. Stop playing with me. Let me see if I can fucking zoom in on this shit, bro. Let me see if this shit will give me more tools, magnify image. Here we go. Okay. Wait, why is it not? Hold on, let me move it down here. Hold on. Let me switch to the magnifier, the one that I got on magnify. Y'all not about to tell me, yo, this shit is crazy, bro. Fuck, it's not letting me. Yeah, it's not letting me hit the magnet to bring it down here to show you. But come on, man. Come on, y'all can see clear as fucking day, man. Look at this, bro. That is fucking Jeffrey Epstein, bro. Come on, man. This February the 6th, 2020. This was sent from motherfucking Tel Aviv, Israel. Stop playing with me, people. Give me a second, folks. Give me 1 second. Take a good look at that picture. Give me a second. Sorry about that. I had somebody knocking on my door. Bro, come on, stop playing with me, Irv. Come on, man. This is one of 7 different images I've seen. And they said that the people that were snapping, in one image, you could tell that they saw that somebody was snapping a picture and were like, the security was trying to get in front. I can't find those images. I had about 6 or 7 images that I tagged to myself on Facebook. And when I go to my Facebook now, it just shows, wow, this is him. And all the images are gone. You think I'm lying? Let me fucking show you. Check this shit out. Check this fucking shit out, bro. We're going to back that picture out right there. Right? Let's start in that. I'll show ya, bro. This shit is fucking, your shit is getting out of hand, bro. I'm not no fucking, no. But I'm not, I believe what my motherfucking eyes see, bro. I truly believe what my motherfucking eyes see. Check this out. When I found those 7 motherfucking images yesterday, the first thing that I did was I tagged all of those fucking images, saved them, and sent them to my Facebook. Yo. Why is it not here no more? Hold on a second. This shit trying to play with me, bro. I sent the shit to myself yesterday and it's gone. Why is it not here no more? This is what I'm talking about. Sent the shit to myself yesterday. I'm going to open it up full screen because I know I'm not fucking tripping. Click on my name. No, I don't want to go. I don't want to see myself live. Let's back up. And when you come down here, it should have been over here. I sent it to myself yesterday saying, wow, check this fucking shit out, bro. And this is another thing right here. This is, see, I sent it to myself yesterday saying, wow, check this fucking shit out, bro. Now, this is another thing right here. This is, see, I sent it. This shit is crazy, bro. You're not going to sit here and drive me motherfucking crazy. Nah, man, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that shit. This shit is wilding out. Nah, I'm telling you. Bro, I sent the images to myself, bro. This shit is crazy. This is wild, man. People are talking about this. Look. Come on, man. Stop playing. I had all these images right here, Irv. Oh, shit. You can't see it. Wait a second. Hold on. Here it is. Here it is. Yo, this shit is crazy, bro. I can't believe this shit is really happening, bro. Come on, man. They're going to stop playing with us, bro. They're going to stop acting like we fucking we retarded. Yo, Irv, everybody in the building. We got 7 people in the building. Stop playing with me, man. This was one of the many images that I had. Stop playing with me, man. These are people, yo, from Israel. Look at this shit. Come on, man. Check this out now. We're gonna leave off of that. I got a guy who a lot of people, I've been watching some of his shit. If Jeffrey Epstein is alive, they got him out of jail. And basically the way they did it was they made it seem like he's dead. And we looked at certain videos differently. We're going to go ahead and we're going to look at certain videos. Once again, this guy is rehashing these videos again. This is all him breaking down certain shit about the video and stuff like that. This guy is called the fuck Dr. G some shit. White guy. He breaks down videos, images, and all that shit and everything. Then after we do that, we're gonna see an image and a breakdown. He's breaking down the Epstein files. He's decoding shit, basically telling us who's and what and what. But we're gonna keep on the Epstein shit. Check this out, bro. Let me pull it up right now. Show y'all what I'm talking about. God damn it. Here we go.
They're ready for the world.
You know, this is not a psychological evaluation. Hey everybody, Dr. G here. I'm a clinical and forensic psychologist as well as a body language expert, but today we're not going to be analyzing body language. Today we're going to be doing a forensic analysis of Jeffrey Epstein's death and showing proof of a cover-up. Before we get started with this, a couple of quick things. One, I wanted to make sure you know this is not a psychological evaluation of any kind. These are just my opinions. In addition to that, I do want to remind you to like and subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. All right, let's go. Now, if you've watched my channel before, you've probably seen that I've covered the Epstein files pretty extensively. Previously, I've done a number of videos around Jeffrey Epstein's death and all of the problems related to what's reported around Jeffrey Epstein's death. I caught a figure walking up to his cell on camera. In addition, I've seen all sorts of inconsistencies in the information reported. But with the most recent batch of Epstein files, we now have more conclusive proof of a cover-up. We're going to be going over that. It's extremely complicated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the proof first, and then I'm going to explain to you why it's proof. Because like I said, this is all very complicated. It took 4,000 pages of reading and a lot of hours of video watching to catch all of this and put all of this together. I'm going to show you everything that I've found. First, we're going to look at some footage from the prison where Epstein was held. This is new footage. This was released with the newest batch of Epstein files, so we have not seen this before, and it's proof positive that there is some form of cover-up. After that, we're going to be looking at the autopsy, not the actual pictures from the autopsy, nothing grotesque, but we're going to be looking at the descriptions from the autopsy, and I'm going to show you some inconsistencies that nobody has ever pointed out before. All right, let's just jump right in. If you look at the footage to the right here, it's labeled August 11th, 2019, around 2200 hours. And according to the government, this footage does not exist. Now, let me explain what I mean by that, because this was actually released in the latest batch of Epstein files. Now, Jeffrey Epstein's body was found on August 10th, 2019 at 6:33 a.m. Now, I want you to keep in mind, this is the next day, so you may be going, well, who cares? This is the day following. But this is extremely significant when you really understand everything that's been reported and all of the details of the case. In just a moment, I'm going to show you a map of this area. I'm going to show you where all of the cameras are. I'm going to show you where everybody is housed. I'm going to explain why, according to the government, this footage cannot exist. Now, watch these officers right here. I want to show you where they're going to go. Now, you see the staircase right here, the one that these officers are getting ready to walk up. This is where Jeffrey Epstein was housed. This is up to what's called L tier. This is referred to, this whole area is referred to as the SHU in the MCC. The MCC is the prison. The SHU is the special housing unit. So it's where people that are not in the general population are put. And each little area is called a tier. There's an upper tier and a lower tier. Jeffrey Epstein is housed in tier L, which is the upper tier. That's where these officers are walking right now. As you can see, you have a pretty clear shot of them. If you've seen previous videos about the footage that was released on the night of Jeffrey Epstein's death, the quality is terrible. It's actually from back here. If you look in the upper right, that's where that camera is. Actually, let's look at a map of all of this so you can really get a lay of the land and understand what cameras were supposed to be working and which ones weren't, and why this footage, once again, should not exist. Now, the figure on the right here is from the Office of the Inspector General of the Department of Justice. Now, if you've watched previous videos that I've done, I analyzed this a couple of times, talked about a lot of problems with this report, a lot of inconsistencies, but this is a diagram of all of the cameras up and around where Jeffrey Epstein was housed. Now,
once again, I see we get some people in the building. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe. If you just coming in, these are new videos that were released with the Epstein file. This man found new video evidence. They told us when Epstein originally died that there was no other cameras working, people. No other cameras were working. Just the fucking camera that we see the angle that supposedly didn't cover the steps to thing. No other camera was working, people. Look what the fuck this man just found in the Epstein file. Oh, shit. Give me a second, people. Give me one Sorry about that, people. I had to chain on the door. Wifey just got home from work. All right. So where was I? Oh, what the fuck going on here? Hold on 1 second. Camera's acting crazy right now. All right, so I'm back. So basically, y'all see what the fuck is going on here, right? There was no other cameras working that night. That's why this guy's saying that this is not, they're not even supposed to have this. So look at what else they buried in the motherfucking Epstein files, people. What else are they hiding? They held 3.5 million other files that they're saying they're not going to release. What the fuck is in those files that they not giving us, and they're fucking up so bad that they're releasing shit like this that's going to make people say, get the fuck out of here. We need the rest of what the fuck is going on in here, folks. This is crazy. This is video proof. Let's get back to it.
He was in the upper tier. Like I said, he was in tier L, which is right here.
Wow.
And Epstein's cell is right up front. Now, the camera that you just saw footage from is actually right here. You can see any of the cameras that have red squares around them are ones that, according to what's been reported, were not recording when Jeffrey Epstein died. So this is about to get very complicated, but I'm going to try to explain it as best as I can without overwhelming you with information. Essentially, there were two DVR systems that recorded the security camera footage. There was DVR1 and DVR2. Now, if you look here, there's the green dot says streaming and recording camera. So all of the green ones were the ones that were on DVR1. All the ones with red squares were on DVR2. Now, to understand the history of the DVR systems, we have to jump back to July 23rd. Hopefully, you're able to follow. On July 23rd, Jeffrey Epstein was found at 1 a.m. with linen wrapped around his neck. Now, according to Jeffrey Epstein, from what he told other inmates, someone had tried to kill him. That is what he said. Now, the psychologists obviously came to different conclusions. They believe that he had done it himself. He ultimately told them, I don't remember what happened. And then he was ultimately put back in his cell on July 29th. Now, incidentally, July 29th is the same day that the DVR2 system, the one that isn't working, went out. Now, they didn't find out about that until August 8th. Now, on August 8th, they realized the DVR2 system was not working correctly. However, it is a long and challenging process to fix these things. We're going to get into the technical parts of that a bit later, but apparently it's very difficult and is very labor intensive to fix this problem. So they didn't have time to fix it, and they had not started working on it yet till after Jeffrey Epstein's death. So the footage that was released months ago, the footage that was released from the night of Jeffrey Epstein's death, is all from this camera right here. The other footage that was released was from this camera over here. According to what's been reported, those are the only cameras on DVR1. So you may be asking, well, what is it that I just showed you? Well, that actually is from this camera right here. Now we're going to hop back to that footage. I'm going to show you a little bit more that's interesting about this footage. According to the diagram we just looked at, there are two functioning cameras. One's over here, one's in a hallway that we're going to look at in a second, but this is not one of them. This was specifically marked as one of the cameras that was not working. Now, for anybody that's getting confused about all of this DVR stuff, basically, when you have security cameras, they have to record somewhere. They're recorded to hard drives housed in big DVR systems. Yes. So you're going to have DVR1, with a whole bunch of hard drives that are apparently all fully functioning, and then you're going to have DVR2, another batch of hard drives that have different cameras attached to them, but those were not functioning. They were not recording. Now, according to the Inspector General's office, this footage right here was on DVR2, the one that was not recording, the one that was corrupt, the one that for a million reasons was not accessible. DVR1 was fully functioning. Now, what I think was that this actually was footage from DVR1, and I'll explain why that's significant. First of all, the reason that this footage at all is significant is the angle we're getting. If somebody went up to Jeffrey Epstein's tier the night that he was murdered, we would see it clear as day from this angle. There would be no disputing it. There would be no question about it. Exactly. You would 100% be able to see if somebody went through that door over there, for example, and walked up to Jeffrey Epstein's tier. Now, no other angle will show you clearly what happened. This angle absolutely would. And that's why this footage is so significant, because this would clear up any question about whether or not anybody actually went up to where Jeffrey Epstein was housed the night of his death. Later on, we're going to look at an email from the FBI that talks about a third camera of interest on the DVR1 system. In other words, the DVR system that was actually functioning, actually recording, actually capturing everything. It only refers to this once in this email, and it says that they could get all the information going all the way back to July 23rd. the first date of interest. I believe it's this camera specifically, and I'm going to show you why. Because if we rewind the beginning of this footage, it actually jumps to the hallway of the cameras that were actually working. I know this is getting confusing, but this hallway right here is one of what was reported to be one of the 2 working cameras. So we expect this footage to be working. This is not surprising at all. This is exactly what we would expect. They actually provided footage going all the way back to August 7th of this hallway, although some of it was edited, and we're going to jump to that later. But they did give us this footage, so we know this camera was working. This camera was supposed to be writing to DVR1, the working system. Now watch what happens when I let this play ahead. You're going to seamlessly see this transition to this camera right here. And what that suggests is that they are in fact on the same circuit, the same system. So you have this camera and this camera recording to the same place. They're even kept in the same file. You can see it seamlessly transitions from one to the other. These are recording to the same place, which means that on this footage right here, they would have it going all the way back to July 23rd. So we would be able to see clear as day who it is that went up to L tier the night of Jeffrey Epstein's death. So there's really 2 possibilities. Either this footage right here was on the functioning cameras, and all of the footage from the night of Jeffrey Epstein's death and before is available, or at least was available before somebody probably deleted it, or this is on the DVR2 system, which is in fact fully functional, and that there's actually footage from all of the different angles. Either way, if you look at all of the information reported, this camera cannot have captured this and saved it to a DVR according to everything that we're being told. Now, I get this is August 11th. This is the day after Jeffrey Epstein's death. You may think, well, maybe they did a quick rush job and fixed all of it. But we know for a fact that's not true. We're going to look at emails later that show even by the 12th, they hadn't even started trying to fix it yet. So we know for a fact DVR2, the one that this was reported to be on, was not working at that time. Have you ever Googled your own name or email address? Before I had Aura, I did, and wow, it was my full name, my old address, phone number, all sorts of information automatically. I'm not leaving myself vulnerable, and you shouldn't either. Go to aura.com/Dr. G and get started with your 14-day trial today. All right, back to the analysis. Now, the DOJ released days and days and days of footage of this hallway, going all the way back to August 7th, but I want you to pay attention to what happens on August 9th, close to midnight. Now, I had always said that I thought that Jeffrey Epstein was murdered around midnight, a little bit after. So as you can see right now, it's at around 2,300 hours. So this would be around 11 p.m. at night. And then all of a sudden, once we get to August 10th, it's going to skip to 1 a.m. Now, since that footage skipped, I figured let's skip ahead. Let's see what happens around the time that Jeffrey Epstein's body was found. But when we reach 2 a.m., it in fact skips to 9 a.m. So that chunk of time is missing as well. So anytime that anything significant happened around Jeffrey Epstein, all of the footage from all of the other angles is entirely missing. Now, if you remember, on July 23rd, Jeffrey Epstein had been found with an injury. That was, as I said, around 1 a.m. on July 23rd. So I decided to look and see what footage they released for the month of July, and it turned out they released footage that went back to early July, the whole month, except the footage around the time that Jeffrey Epstein's injury was reported. No footage around that exists. It skips that huge chunk of time. So anything in and around things that were reported to have happened to Jeffrey Epstein are not included in any of this footage. The footage is essentially useless in that sense. But the one thing, as I said, that we discovered was, in fact, that we have footage from a different angle. Now, another thing I want you to think about is that July 29th is when apparently everything stopped working, when reportedly all of the cameras weren't working. Now, July 23rd, when he was first found with an injury, apparently all of the cameras should have been working then. So why did they only released this footage and not footage from the top footage that shows what was going on? Apparently everything was working just fine on July 23rd, and none of that footage is to be found anywhere. So why is it that this terrible footage from this terrible angle is all they asked for, when, according to what's been reported, all of the footage from every other angle was available from that time? Why is it that this is the only one that was released, and we don't even have the segment of time when the incident actually occurred? Now we're going to watch some footage that's labeled J tier. Now I'm going to explain why this is confusing. This is not dated. There's no timestamp. There's no way for us to identify when this is from, which is extremely unusual for security cameras. Now, the relevance of this is that this camera right here was supposed to be on the system that was not recording, that wasn't working. J tier is basically perpendicular to L tier. It's a separate tier, but it's right near where Jeffrey Epstein was housed. This angle right here is exactly what we should have been able to get from the cameras where Jeffrey Epstein was housed. Now, the FBI went twice to get hard drives from the prison. They went on August 10th and August 14th or 15th. It says both dates. So somewhere in that area. Regardless, DVR system had not been fixed by then. So what this is from, when it's from, and why it's here is totally unknown. Because once again, this is not Jeffrey Epstein's tier. So why this is part of the Epstein files is perplexing. We're going to watch it and talk about what we see, but there's no context given. There's no date given. So this remains confusing. So as you can see, you have two officers walking past an open door. Now that open door right there, if this was L tier, if this was the tier that Jeffrey Epstein was on, that's equivalent to where Jeffrey Epstein would have been staying. He stayed in that front room right there. Why they're showing this, once again, I don't really know. But what we do see is we see an officer going up and talking to one of the inmates. Clearly there's an inmate directly to the left inside that room right there. He turns around and picks something up. It's unclear what this is. Maybe it's a note, but he doesn't seem to have a problem giving it back to the inmate right there. So you have these other officers up front. They're looking at this open room. It's so confusing as to what the relevance of this would be. Now, if this was L tier, obviously it would be, this would be where Jeffrey Epstein was staying. The relevance of this continues to be puzzling. We'll keep watching and then we'll talk about it. So you saw this officer that's down here at the end of the hallway. He seems to be listening to what this inmate's saying. He'd handed him something. They seem to be conversing about something. And then you have these officers down here that are talking about this open room. So once again, how this is relevant to the Epstein files, I would love to know. I wish there was more documentation, because this is, at least as far as I've seen, not talked about anywhere in any of the Epstein files, and any of the documents, and any of the emails. And I'm telling you, I looked over 4,000 documents. I didn't see anything about this specifically. So why they have this is anybody's guess. But if nothing else, this does help you better understand the angle we would have gotten, how good a quality shot we would have gotten had the footage been available from L tier, from the place where Jeffrey Epstein was being housed. But it continues to be perplexing as to why this was included. And on top of that, where it came from. Because as I said, the FBI went twice, got all the hard drives. There was discussion about footage being provided. As far as the hard drives that they got, none of them should have had any footage from this tier on it. Absolutely none of the DVRs or hard drives should have had any footage from right here, at least according to what was reported, because anything that was filmed from this camera should have been corrupted. At least that's what they said. Now we're going to go through some documents, and I'm going to show you why that August 11th footage, based on their own words, should not exist. Now, this email is from an FBI special agent. This was sent on March 9th, 2020, but was forwarded a message from August 14th, 2019. All right, this is a technical update of the DVR system. So Nice Vision was going to come in, do the work, get things replaced, and get everything updated. Now, what this says, Nice Vision arrived at the MCC on Monday, August 12th, 2019, to begin work on the installation. Nice Vision has not completed the work on the system because they have not had access to the equipment room since FAVU arrived later that same day to export video from a camera feed on the working DVR1 system. Another team from FBI FAVU is currently on site working on exporting video from a third camera of interest connected to DVR System 1, which is currently operational and being utilized by the MCC. We will continue to export video from this camera back to at least 7/23/19, the date of the first alleged attempt. Now, keep this in mind. A third camera of interest has now been identified. That third camera of interest may very well be the one that we saw the footage from. So it's saying that they may have had footage that goes all the way back from that camera to 7/23/19, which was also on the DVR1 system. So there's two possibilities. Like I said, either it was on the DVR1 system and the report was either lying or wrong, or it was on the DVR2 system, and that's equally problematic. Either way, there should be available footage that goes all the way back to 7/23 from that other angle. Now, for now, we're back in the report by the Inspector General's office.
Bro, you see how this man is cooking right now? Y'all see how he's cooking and he's catching these motherfuckers in this bullshit? Hey, yo, he's cooking right now, bro. He's truly cooking right now. And I'm telling you, this ain't looking good right now, people.
OJ. as we're going through this, if there's anything else that stands out, I'm going to point it out because there may be subsequent videos, and sometimes there'll be something I notice, and then there'll be additional information later, and then we have to revisit it, and it's worth going back to. Now, one thing we're going to be coming back to related to the autopsy is this right here. Epstein was suspended from the top bunk in a near seated position with his buttocks approximately 1 inch to 1.5 inches off the floor. That's very significant, but that's for the later part of the video when we talk about the autopsy. Now, for now, we're back in the report by the Inspector General's Office of the DOJ. There are some statements made that help back up some of what I talked about earlier. MCC New York staff unsuccessfully attempts to recover video from the DVR2 system of the SHU, and the BOP begins repairing the DVR2 system. The FBI seizes all hard drives contained in the DVR2 system as evidence. So that was on August 10th. Then on August 14th to 15th, the FBI returns to MCC New York and seizes additional components of the DVR2 system and the entire DVR1 system. The FBI Digital Forensics Analysts Unit in Quantico, Virginia, begins to conduct a forensic analysis of MCC New York's DVR systems and determines there were catastrophic disk failures in the DVR2 system disk array, and no recordings were available on the DVR2 system after July 29th, 2019. So this would have been August 14th to 15th. That's why I was saying that the footage from Tier J likely would have been the 15th or before, because these are the only 2 times they went and got the hard drives from them. There's no information in any of the emails about them sending an additional clip or anything like that, so presumably they recovered that from the DVR systems that they had. It just doesn't make sense. As noted previously, at approximately 1:27 a.m. on July 23rd, 2019, Epstein was found lying on the floor of his cell with a piece of homemade orange cloth around his neck. That's what I was referring to when he had allegedly been attacked. Others believe something else. Now, they disregarded the fact that he said he had been assaulted because it says the chief psychologist told the OIG that after Epstein told her he wanted to be housed with the same cellmate he had originally said assaulted him, she began to think, and so on and so forth. So he requested to be back with that cellmate, so they went ahead and said, okay, well, I guess he wasn't assaulted. And that's how they came to the conclusion that he was, in fact, not assaulted. Forensic psychologist 2 asked Epstein why he told another inmate that Epstein's cellmate had tried to kill him, but was now claiming that he had no memory of the incident. So I'm just trying to show you some of the official lines about what was said. So according to forensic analysis conducted by the FBI after Epstein's death, disk failures occurred in MCC, and MCC is the prison, by the way, MCC New York's DVR2 system on July 29th, 2019, which resulted in the system being unable to record. All right, so as I said before, on July 29th and following, couldn't record. So basically, part of what they determined is that there were faulty hard drives. The electronics technician told the OIG he had no idea why he did not stay at the facility to resolve the problem that day. So in other words, August 8th. But he noted for the OIG that he had not historically been required to stay after his shift ended to work on such matters. Even if he begun working on the DVR system that day, he would not have completed the work on August 8th due to the time the rebuilding process takes. Okay, this is a long, laborious process. This is not quick. It's not like something where you flip a switch and all of a sudden you've got a functioning DVR system, or all of a sudden everything's fixed. This would have taken a long time. The OIG found that the electronics technician's immediate supervisor, the facility manager, was on leave that week and therefore not told on August 8th about the DVR recording failure. The facility manager confirmed that he did not learn about the camera problem until days after Epstein's death.
That's crazy.
So it wasn't even on the day of.
That's crazy.
The electronics technician told the OIG there must have been some miscommunication, that he did not say he was going to work overtime and resolve the problem that evening, since he knew the problem could not be fixed in one evening. This is not a problem that could be fixed in one evening. And so on the 10th, when it wasn't even being worked on yet, we already have footage from the 11th. The footage that I talked about should not exist. We'll keep going, but there's more and more proof that footage from August 11th should not exist unless it was on the functional DVR system, which would mean, once again.
So basically, once again, somebody fucked up. Whoever's redacting the Epstein files ain't doing a good job, because you accidentally released this fucking file, this video, when supposedly that camera's not even supposed to be working. That's video of a camera that was supposedly not working the day that Epstein was murdered. Things that make you say,
Equal amount of problems related to a cover-up. The electronics technicians eventually determined that most of the cameras in the SHU area were assigned to record to DVR2. That while cameras assigned to DVR2 were providing live video streams on August 9th and 10th, no recordings from those cameras were available due to the DVR2 hard drive issue, which the FBI later determined had occurred on July 29th. Among the cameras whose video was not recorded was the camera at the end of L tier, the SHU tier in which Epstein was housed. Only 2 cameras in the vicinity of the shoe area were recording to DVR1 at the time of Epstein's death. So basically, as I said before, they said there were only two cameras that were functional. One was the one that we had all of that footage from that was from that really terrible angle, and the other was on the 9th floor fire exit and two of the floor's 4 elevators, which was the other footage we talked about. So before we move on to the autopsy, just to summarize, we have footage from this camera right here. And apparently, according to that email with the FBI, it sounds like that was in fact recorded to DVR System 1, despite the fact that this chart says that it wasn't recorded there at all. And it looks like they probably could have gotten footage all the way back to July 23rd. Now we're going to look at the autopsy report by the medical examiner. I want you to keep in mind when we go through this, this is someone who is meticulously detailed, writes down every single scratch, bump, bruise, everything. So anything that stands out, anything that's not reported is noteworthy, or anything that is reported is also noteworthy. But the first thing we're going to look at is their description of Jeffrey Epstein's external examination. So one thing that is very interesting, because we've seen this talked about, is the medical examiner says the genitalia are atraumatic and of a normal circumcised man. Now, that doesn't sound particularly exceptional, but if you've followed this case, if you have followed the way that he has been described, some people have described his genitals as lemon-shaped, as extremely deformed. That's a literal quote. So the question is, why is it here described as perfectly normal? Now, that could be that the way it was described by somebody else was inaccurate, or maybe this is inaccurate. He cannot both have deformed genitalia and also have normal genitalia. This is someone whose descriptions are so incredibly detailed. That is not the kind of detail that you would think would be left out. So that stands out as extremely strange to me. Now, I don't know if it's strange how the other person described it, or it's strange that the medical examiner didn't include it, because I don't know which is true, but both cannot be true. Now, something that has been talked about by other medical examiners are the fractures in his neck. Other medical examiners have suggested that's more consistent with strangulation than something that is self-inflicted. But there's some details that are left out that we're going to actually get into that I haven't heard anybody else talk about. Let's just say, for argument's sake, that could be self-inflicted. Even if other people say it's more likely strangulation, that would take a tremendous amount of force. Now, what was described by the person who found him is that his buttocks were about 1 inch off the ground. That is a really small amount. Now, if somebody had enough force to break something in their neck, it's very, very likely that their buttocks would hit the ground. And therefore, there would have been bruising or trauma observed there, but there was nothing of the sort observed. There was no trauma described there. There was nothing described there. So if you can imagine that if he was in a seated position, which is a very odd position to be in, but with buttocks 1 to 1.5 inches off the floor, if you slammed yourself down hard enough to break something, then there would definitely be enough bounce to where you would have hit the ground. There's no way that he would have just stopped 1 inch and that's where he stayed. Because if he was not moving and he was seated, and he was only 1 inch off the ground, then if he were to leap forward or to fall down in some respect, he most certainly would have hit the ground with his buttocks. And there's nothing described that implies that there was any trauma there whatsoever. So something is not consistent here. He both has the break in the neck, but no trauma elsewhere when he was this close to the ground. Now, there's one last area of his medical history I think is worth looking at.
It's crazy, man.
Now, there was an email sent on July 20th.
This thing is breaking this shit down, bro. This is really, really fucking suspect.
28th. And it says, inmate Epstein seems psychologically stable. This was getting ready to release him back to the SHU. He complained that his right arm was numb and hanging earlier. Nurse blank saw him, or nurse redacted saw him. He again said his right arm feels somewhat numb and that he cannot make a fist with that hand. He also said he had numbness on his neck. I informed the nurse. A week before, just a little over a week before the time that he allegedly took prison linens and shredded them by hand, he couldn't even make a fist. Even at full strength, I argue, he could not have shredded linens himself. I don't think there was a chance that he could have torn them apart, because that's what he was found with, was linens that were torn. These are anti-tear linens. There's no way that he would have had the strength to do that, even at 100%. But certainly, if he can't even make a fist with his right hand, for it to have recovered fully in 10 days and for him to be shredding linens seems preposterous. There's just so much information here, medical information and otherwise, that does not add up. We'll go ahead and wrap things up here. There's a lot more that we could get into, but I just don't want to be any more technical than I already have. But there is so much.
See what I'm saying, people? This shit is crazy, bro. This dude has more videos breaking this shit down. So now we see what the fuck he put up about the Jeffrey Epstein shit, right? So he broke down that whole Jeffrey Epstein shit, him in the jail and everything. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go back on over to Midas Touch. We're going to go back on over to Midas, and I'm going to show you what's going on right now. It's crazy. We got to keep going back and forth. It's like a pendulum, but it's just showing how we just connecting everything. Hold on a second. Fuck. Is it still on Dr. G? Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go right back to Dr. G again, right? And the other video he actually has it fucked up. Sorry about that. All right, so all right, here we go.
Still managed.
Hey everybody, Dr. G here. I'm a clinical and forensic psychologist as well as a body language expert. And today,
all right, so check this out. Watch this dude break down the Epstein file. He's gonna basically tell us some shit that this shit is wild, bro. Pay attention. Pay attention, folks.
Today, we're going to be analyzing the craziest and most shocking Epstein files I've found so far. Before we get started with this, a couple of quick things. One, I wanted to make sure you know this is not a psychological evaluation of any kind. These are just my opinions. In addition to that, I do want to remind you to like and subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. All right, let's go. What we're going to be analyzing today is part of the over 3 million Epstein files that were released. Now, I say part because nobody's had a chance to go through all 3 million, but there are a lot of various documents, journals, emails, pictures that have been found, and we're going to talk about whether or not they are reliable, whether they're unreliable. We're going to talk from a forensic standpoint as to how valuable these various files actually are. Please keep in mind the goal of these videos is to be politically neutral. So if I find information, regardless of which side of the aisle it's on, I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to talk about whether or not that information seems reliable. All right, let's just jump right in. The first documents we're going to be looking at are journals from the early 2000s. These journals were written by one of Jeffrey Epstein's trafficking victims. They're written in a cipher, actually. They're written in code. I'm going to explain how to decode it, and then we're going to actually read through it. But it mentions a couple of dozen different people by name. Now, we're going to talk about all of those people in a different video because that's just too long. Today, we're just going to talk about the 2 most prominent people that are mentioned. So here's how this cipher works. Here's how the code works. Is you start with the first letter, then you go straight down to the second, then you go up to the next row for the third, down to the fourth, up to the fifth, and so on. You essentially read in a zigzag pattern. It makes for slow reading, but it's not that hard to decipher. Fortunately, because all of this was presented by an attorney, the attorney went ahead and deciphered it all for us. Before we actually read through what this says and we talk about some of the names that are mentioned, I do want to point out, in terms of reliability, the claims made in these journals are extreme. This individual claims that she actually had Jeffrey Epstein's baby, that she was pregnant with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's baby. So whether or not you believe that this person is connected to reality or whether or not you believe they're a true victim, I think there's probably going to be a lot of debate about that because the claims that are made in it are wild, but maybe provable claims. I can't say for sure. All I can say is what I have in front of me. So we're going to talk about and decipher specifically who she claimed that she came in contact with. Now, the page that we just looked at, here's specifically what it says. It doesn't matter how far away you are, no matter how good you think they are, even the old president, they will get you. He should have been thinking of Chelsea, gross, in a plane, on a yacht in New York, in D.C., at the Vineyard, on the island, in Palm Beach. It doesn't matter. So now going back to the page that's written in cipher, if you look at it in that up-down fashion, you can read it yourself. But this obviously is talking about President Bill Clinton. Now, when you see it, it sounds vague. She's not mentioning specific behaviors, specific activities. Now, according to her attorney, anytime she says gross or yuck or uses a word like that, that indicates inappropriate behavior on the part of the person she's referring to. So in this, she is claiming that she is a victim of Bill Clinton. Now we're going to look at another page. I'm going to read it to you first, then we're going to look at the page in context, and that will help you understand who she's referring to. I guess it's a royal thing. Gross. Andrew is like his brother in this way. Blank should not brag because that was yucky. Does this lady know you can't have any dignity if you've been with him? I know I have none. only Skittles. Now, with that name blurred out, we don't really know who she's talking about. However, if we go down and you see it in context, it's pretty obvious. So now that we're back on this page, this is the name, the one that's blacked out right there that I was referring to. Now, in context, it's pretty obvious who she's referring to. If you look at the bottom right here, you see the name Ivana Trump. I'm going to read through this and you'll see why it really can't be anybody but President Trump that she's referring to right here. Now, if you look at the number of blocks that are blacked out, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trump. So obviously the name fits in terms of the number of letters. But let's read it out in context and let's look at all of this one more time. So if we're to assume this is the name Trump, it would say Trump should not brag because that was yucky. And then down here it says, does this lady know you can't have any dignity if you've been with him? Obviously, right next to that is the name Ivana Trump, the name of President Trump's ex-wife. And then after that, it says, I know I have not only Skittles. So this is a very specific accusation by one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims saying that she was also victimized by President Trump. Now, as I said before, the goal of this is not to be political. I'm just telling you exactly what this says. Now, whether or not you think it is reliable is another question. Now, based on everything we know about this victim, there's no reason to believe that her claims about Jeffrey Epstein are untrue, but there's still going to be questions about her credibility regarding former President Bill Clinton as well as President Trump because of some of the claims that she makes in there that are so extreme. Now, I think it can be proven that she was in fact with Jeffrey Epstein during these years, but she also claims to have been impregnated by him. She claimed to have had his and Ghislaine Maxwell's baby. There are a lot of very intense and extreme claims that she makes. And for some people, without those aspects being proven, are not going to believe that these journals are credible. So as a forensic expert, if I was to review something like this, I would need additional information that corroborates more aspects of this. Now, if that can be done, then I think that you might have some very credible claims on your hand. But without additional information, without additional resources, we can't say definitively whether or not these claims are credible because some of the claims and some of the statements are so extreme. Now we're going to look at some of the pictures that were released in this most recent data set. I want you to keep in mind, this is over 3 million documents. Finding these pictures and finding what pictures are available is extremely difficult because you can't just download one big file that has all.
Yo, make sure y'all ain't got no kids around. Make sure there are no kids around while he's showing these photos. I'm going to run to the restroom real quick. No kids around, please.
The pictures in there, you have to find them by searching and trying to search for 3 million different documents. It's very, very challenging. But I will show you the most interesting ones that I found. Now, the reason I start with this one is because he is obsessed with massage, whether it's him getting massage or other people getting it. He is absolutely obsessed with this idea. So you're going to see massage come up over and over and over again. I think that his life was built around fantasies related to massage. I really do. There's a number of pictures of him doing silly things like this, like making duck faces and mugging at the camera. Now, one thing that's very consistent throughout the Epstein files is that through each release, there's always pictures of celebrities. Now, this right here is Brett Ratner. He's directed a lot of movies, just recently directed a documentary about Melania Trump. Now, Brett Ratner has been very clear that he didn't know Jeffrey Epstein that well. These do seem like strange pictures to take with somebody that you're not that familiar with. But Jeffrey Epstein has a lot of pictures with a lot of famous people. Now, down here, I thought these were interesting. This is him going to some sort of equestrian event, watching horses jump and all that, looking very happy, seeming to always be posing for the camera in a very similar way. It's interesting to me that he was still out and about, always doing these things well after he had been convicted in 2008. This is something I think is interesting and disturbing. So if you look at Jeffrey Epstein right here, he's got his hand on somebody's leg, and you can see the way that he's gripping it. So to look at the body language right here, this screams control because you look, he's got his hand pressed hard on this person's leg, but he's not leaning towards them. There's no affection. There's no warmth. This is someone who wants control, who sees people as objects. Now, if you look right here, this person is now holding his hand. He's smiling. But still, the body language doesn't suggest a connection between them. This is somebody that I think that he wants to have control over. So if you look at the way that he does this, he continues to do it in other pictures. He just constantly keeps his hands on other people. And this is just a very, very small sample of this. He does this so much, I just didn't feel like putting a ton of these pictures in there because they're just kind of gross. So if you look at the body language, though, this really is someone who is not connected with the person that they are apparently trying to be connected with. Now, right here, this is him having some sort of academic lunch. Now, he is also, I said he was obsessed with massage. He's also obsessed with being an intellectual. So he likes to surround him with people that he thinks are smart. He does do these kinds of functions. He does these things where he is trying to connect with other academics, scientists, and so forth, because I think he really wants to be one. But if you read his emails, if you look at the way that he speaks, he does not come across as quite as intelligent as I think he wants to. Now, here's some pictures of him playing ping pong. I just thought it was sort of strange and interesting because you have someone that is always documenting everything he does. Keep in mind, he's not the one taking these pictures. Somebody else has got to have a camera and is constantly taking pictures of him with every last thing. And there's no shortage of pictures of him in weird poses, that's for sure. Here's him at some sort of Studio 54 celebration. I think that was the theme of this party right here. Now we're getting back to some pictures that we looked at actually in another video because they re-released them with this.
That's Chris Tucker and Bill Clinton. That is Chris fucking Tucker. What the fuck, man?
This document dump, but some of them just fascinate me, especially him and Bill Clinton. Look at the just sheer joy of Bill Clinton through these. He's having the time of his life. He's jumping around, having fun with everybody. He just has a spring in his step. His time with Jeffrey Epstein, I think, is about as good a time as he has ever had with anybody. And so when he says, I don't know the guy, we went to Africa one time and that was it, or he makes these excuses that I don't really know him, I just rode on his plane for convenience. None of that seems true at all when we look at the pictures of them together. And as we continue to look through these pictures, once again, massage. He's so obsessed with massage. He has so many pictures of massage. There he is with Michael Jackson. I think this is an old one, but I still think it's a really strange one. Michael Jackson not looking all that particularly pleased to be standing with Jeffrey Epstein. Of course, Michael Jackson doesn't smile in any pictures. He never looks happy to be with anyone. But I do think it's interesting the way they pose together in this picture. You can see both of them have their hands in their pockets. There doesn't seem to be a lot of comfort in this picture here for anybody. Now, what this looks like to me, and maybe somebody else could clarify, to me, this looks like Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell standing with Prince Andrew from an old picture. I think that's what this is from a long time ago. I believe that that's Prince Andrew in the middle there. If anybody can clarify that, let me know. And here's Prince Andrew standing over a woman's body with no context. This is a particularly strange picture because if we look at the expression on his face, it's almost a look of surprise. They're not smiling. They're not laughing. Nobody seems to be having fun. So why they're documenting this in the way they are, it's all very peculiar. And Prince Andrew has said in the past, I don't like to pose for pictures because of my position. I would never do such things. But right here, he's posing in the strangest of pictures. So his behavior around Epstein really seemed to be unique and bizarre. Now we're going to look at an email Jeffrey Epstein sent with a story about President Trump. Now here's what Jeffrey Epstein said. Read the feed, re my airplane logs and Hawaiian Tropic contest. I have them ask my houseman about Donald almost walking through the door, leaving his nose print on the glass as young women were swimming in the pool, and he was so focused he walked straight into the door. And if you look through his emails, Jeffrey Epstein has a long history of comments like this. We're going to be doing an entire video just dedicated to all the times President Trump is mentioned in the Epstein files, so we're just talking about a little bit of it today, but these are some of the times it stands out.
Who's upstairs?
So here's another similar exchange with the same person. Landon Thomas Jr. said, you be the judge. Wasn't there a time where he at least completed sentences? And then Epstein says, no, he was always.
The hell just happened?
Stupid. So this goes to show Jeffrey Epstein really has a strong dislike and really does have a tendency to mock President Trump. That is something that he's done very, very consistently. Now, here's something that comes up a couple of times throughout this. We're going to see this again. But this is somebody referring to freezing eggs. So in other words, freezing the eggs of women that are associated with Jeffrey Epstein.
This shit is crazy, bro. This shit is just straight up fucking bonkers, yo. I can't begin to fathom any of this, bro. This shit don't make no sense. This was a network of fucking for real. Matter of fact, yo, Irv, I'm gonna drop the link. Yo, come up on the panel, bro. Come up on the panel if you can, bro. This shit is crazy, bro. This shit is crazy, bro. This was a fucking this shit is just out of character, bro. This is straight out of character. This man is just breaking down all these fucking files and people and shit in here, bro. But that's nothing because I got something else I want to show y'all. It's a fucking let's back this out real quick. Because we haven't even gotten back to Midas touch. You know what I'm saying? We haven't even gotten back to fucking Midas touch. You know what I mean? Still got to show the video that Trump did the dumb shit he did by doing a fucking Big Irv is on the whole set.
On the whole set. This shit is crazy, man.
Yo, this nigga has lost his fucking marbles, bro. He's gone, bro. He's lost all of his fucking marbles right now, yo. There's something wrong with this man, bro.
You talking about Trump?
It's just, yeah, he's out of his mind. And then he started some shit and it backfired on his fucking dumb ass. So he went ahead and he went ahead and subpoenaed the Clintons, and now they say, yeah, we'll do it, but we're gonna do that shit live. We want the whole world to see. We're not doing nothing private. Since you guys want to show transparency, we're gonna do it all live. Now all of a sudden, no, I like Bill Clinton. I don't like what they doing to him. That's wrong. Yo, this nigga changed his whole motherfucking song and dance, bro.
Wow, typical flip-flopper, huh? Crazy.
Bro, now all of a sudden he don't think it's right what they doing to the Clintons. He opposes it. It's not right. Yada yada yada, and all this other bullshit. Oh, now all of a sudden it's a problem. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You wilding the fuck out, bro. You wilding out, and what got you fucked up is that you busted. Plain and simple. You motherfucking busted. But check this out, though. I'm gonna show you something else that fucking I got. This shit is basically. I think Charlene sent this shit to me, bro. You need to see this shit, bro. Let me go to my messenger real quick.
Yo, you was live last night or not?
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Just left me here all alone. With the background on. Yo, who's in the fucking chat? Yo, hit the fucking like. There's like 8 people in this motherfucker. Hit that shit. Stop playing. It'll take
that
much
shit
to
crazy,
hit.
bro.
No, I was saying you was live last night or not?
Yeah, I went live last night too and shit, yo. But yo, this shit is crazy, bro. I'm gonna show y'all these fucking videos. Like, yo, this nigga did a video last night of the. Let me just show you. I don't even know why I'm even trying to. Let me show you.
Yeah, bro. We're gonna go like old school Warren Wolf. Let's go to the videotape.
Here we go. Look at this. Look at this video. This is what this asshole did last night. You see that? Oh, is it there? No, hold on. I gotta back out of it. This was him. You see the image though. You see what he did, right? There's an image.
Yeah, I see it.
And he did all this to everybody that he don't like. He put them in. He made Hillary look like a pig, and he's a lion. And let me find a fucking video. But I wanted to show you what was sent to me real quick. Let me show you. Where the fuck is this shit at? Yeah, right here. This shit, real quick. Here go y'all fucking Illuminati, people. Here go y'all motherfucking Illuminati. Tell me no. In fact, I'm gonna even make it bigger so I can see this shit. Look, these are all the people right here, folks. All the people that have been mentioned so far in the motherfucking Epstein file. These are all the people right here that have been mentioned so far. This is crazy, bro. You see this shit? Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Michael Jackson, Bill Gates, Leonardo DiCaprio, George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Prince Andrews, Phil Collins, Larry Summers, Eugene Burak, Chris Tucker, Les Wexner, Leon Black, Glenn Dubin, Cameron Diaz, Bruce Willis, Kevin Spacey, Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Mick Jagger, George Lucas, Tony Blair, Jean-Luc Burnell, Peter Mandelson, Lynn Rothschild, Hamid bin Jasmine, Abdullah bin Zayed, Saeed Haria, what the fuck? Hamed Abu, I'm trying. Mohammed bin Salam, John Kerry, Ted Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Michael Bloomberg, Woody Allen, Alan Dershowitz, Ghislaine Maxwell, Andrew Cuomo, Miguel Angel Morenos, Mina Driver, Peter Delgish, Tahir Fasih Fahad, Khalid bin Hamami Halakakifa, what the fuck? And 3 more crazy names. Try to read the fuck out of here. I'm not trying to read that shit. But yo, you seeing this, bro? These are powerful people right here, folks. What I'm showing y'all, these are powerful motherfucking people that have already been mentioned in the first 3 million files of the fucking Epstein files. Boom. This is here. This is I'm trying to find, I'm gonna find this video right here because Trump is getting fried for this right here, people.
Oh shit, hold up. Shout out to old Dusty Puerto Rican. What up, bro?
Oh, what's good, Dusty? Didn't even notice you. Yeah, he's getting fried for this right here, bro. We need this right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna back out of here and we're gonna find this fucking video because this shit is crazy. So let's back out of there. And I know exactly where we're gonna go to find the video because he posted it. He posted it earlier and they broke it down. Let me bring up YouTube. You know Don Lemon has been on his ass. Don Lemon has been on his motherfucking ass, bro. Where the fuck is that? Oh, this is it right here.
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet, this is Dope Tech from Wix.
Yo, shout out to Don Lemon for having this. Yo, Donald Trump is a piece of shit, y'all.
Trial attorney and a friend of the Don Lemon show. I think Monique is here. And then later.
All right, I'm going to play this, folks. And like I said, if there's any Trump supporters in the building, you're a piece of shit just like him if you continue to support a man who could go ahead and do this. Yo, Irv, what I'm about to show you should not have been done, on, especially from somebody who's in the position of power that he's in. You understand what I'm saying, brother? You being a former, you being a former officer of the law, I want you to look at this. Check this shit out. Look at the video this nigga posted and made, bro. This shit is disgusting. Dusty, check this out, Dusty. Shout out to Don Lemon for having this.
We're going to be joined by Bakari Sellers, D.L. Hughley, and Representative Jasmine Crockett. So let's play
Dusty,
this.
hit the like. Don't be cheap.
Look at the video, people.
Wise here.
Oh, Tim Wise is here as well. Tim Wise, hello, Tim. Good to see you. An anti-racist professor and racist and expert on racism in America, and outspoken and also a best-selling author. Here's the video. And so it is the song from The Lion King, but we can't play the song because of the music. Yeah,
the song is from The Lion King, but they can't play it because he doesn't want to get demonetized. You can't play the music; he'll get demonetized. He can't, but he can show the image. So I'm starting to learn that you can watch a motherfucker video, but as long as there's no audio or nothing, you can't get demonetized. But let's finish. Y'all see the faces, right? Let me rewind it again and let y'all see it in its entirety without me interfering. But I just wanted y'all guys to understand.
Representative Jasmine Crockett. So let's play this video, and I want to hear from the guests. Here's the video.
We also have Tim Wise here.
Oh, Tim Wise is here as well. Tim Wise, hello, Tim. Good to see you. An anti-racist professor and racist and expert on racism in America, and outspoken and also a best-selling author. Here's the video.
This is Trump who posted this, people.
And so it is the song from The Lion King, but we can't play the song because of the music rights. We will get demonetized and they'll pull this down, and this is important. We don't want it pulled down, but there you see the governor of Illinois depicted as an
where he
elephant.
put Ramandani.
And there's
all of them.
Hakeem Jeffries. And there is Trump.
Trump is the cowardly lion.
There'll be ACP as we watch this.
This is crazy.
What do you say, Mr. Johnson? Good morning.
Good morning. You know, not surprised. It is Friday. Every Thursday and Friday, they do something outlandish to distract or distort the message. We realize that he's unpopular. He's running out of white people, so he's put into the lowest common denominator. The depictions of individuals of being criminal or subhuman is an old tactic. Frederick Douglass responded during his time because majority of Americans during his time was illiterate, white Americans. And so they would communicate through cartoon characters. And so Frederick Douglass decided that he would be depicted as a dignified, strong African-American male. And what we're witnessing today is...
Yeah, I don't want to keep playing Don Lemon shit because, you know, I don't know if he's using this to get monetized or something like that. But I just knew that's the fastest place, the fastest way I can go ahead and find that video.
But Joe Biden, Joe Biden,
that is absolutely fucking disgusting.
That should look funny as hell, though. He was on a tree.
That's crazy.
But it is fucked up, though.
This dude is, you hold the highest position in the country. There should be no reason why you out here doing this fuckboy shit, bro. This is they're laughing at us, man. We are being fucking laughed at, yo, and that's what's so fucking crazy about it. I never, Joe. It's buck wild. And let me finish showing you. There's other shit I ain't finished. I skipped off. Because I got caught up trying to show y'all something, but this shit is crazy, bro. Yeah, Midas Touch has been on it, bro. I fucks with Midas Touch. So after he went ahead and spoke his shit and everything, bro, you got female, you got the people. Yeah, you saw that shit, Prodigy, right? You saw that shit, Productions? That shit is crazy, yo. Shout out to motherfucking to your music again. Damn, what the fuck is wrong with me? Dedicated Grind Music. Shout out to Dedicated Grind Music again, bro. But yeah, that nigga's bugging, bro. And then you got survivors who are talking out now. They're just fucking pissed off about the shit and stuff. But after he asked the Clinton to fucking go ahead and testify, this corny ass nigga, let me show you what happened.
As you grow at HRT, you want to learn new things. I love the fact that they...
It's on the House.
So fast. So easy. So local.
Former Secretary. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans are now officially blocking former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton from testifying publicly about Jeffrey Epstein, about the Epstein files, and answering any questions that the public may have for Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. Now, this follows.
You gotta fucking you can't make this shit up, bro. You know why they blocked it? Because they still want to have the thing, but they want to have it in private so that they can go ahead and release to the media what the fuck they want to release. They want to spin the narrative. Fuck that. I'm the Clintons. I stick to what we doing. We not spinning the narrative. You want us to testify? We testifying in public for the whole world to see. Exactly. That's basically what they said in so many words. That's exactly what they said in so many words. Now these niggas don't want to fucking do a public testimony. Fuck out of here. We're doing this shit in public.
Donald Trump and MAGA Republican Congress member James Comer and all the other MAGA Republicans saying the Epstein files has nothing to do with Donald Trump. This is all about Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton. It's as though like we're all stupid, right? Like Donald Trump appears on the Epstein files over 38,000 times in 5,000 documents. And that's just in the partial release of Epstein files of 3 million documents. And there's at least 3 million other documents, which could be as many as.
Yeah, y'all hear that? In only 5,000 fucking, this thing up here is 30, man.
25 to 50 million pages that are missing. But look, the bottom line is that Bill Clinton says, you want to ask me any questions about it? I'm happy to speak about it. Hillary Clinton says, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to know. You want to ask me questions about it? Let's do it. But let's do it in public.
That's another thing. You just threw your man. I know Bill Clinton's like, this nigga just threw me under the bus. All right, nigga. You want to do me dirty? Do me dirty. But what the fuck are you? What does my wife got to do with this? She ain't been on no Epstein Island, nigga. It was us niggas that was out there rolling, doing dirt, nigga. What the fuck you bringing her involved? Like I said, these MAGA Republicans are fucking retarded. They're stupid. They don't think, man. They really don't think. They just react.
Front of the entire world, and let's do it. Let's do a hearing on Epstein. You want to do it? We're ready to go. So you now have James Comer saying, actually, we're going to maybe do it in secret. We're not going to do it in public. Why would we do a public hearing? They think they're special. They think they get, no, it's not a matter of thinking they're special. What's in those files, James Comer, is absolutely vile and disgusting. The allegations, especially against Donald Trump and the cabal that's in the White House right now that you're a sycophant of, is disgusting. And I think it's laudable. We should praise people who want to go and testify under oath in public. Well, Donald Trump wants to avoid that. So here was James Comer last night going on state regime media, which calls itself Fox, saying, actually, we don't want to do Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton's deposition in public. We're going to do that in secret. And then maybe we'll release it when we say we want to release it. What the hell is this? Watch MAGA Republicans just utterly terrified here. Let's play this clip.
All right. She wants to tell you how to do your job. You're saying no.
All right, look, I don't know who need to hear this, but my man just tried that new 100 milligram generic Viagra for only 87
fuck you and your
cents a
man.
pop.
Get the shit
Friday
out of
plan.
here.
No, look, she has moved the goalposts millions of times throughout this entire process, then fires out an email attacking me today, accusing me of moving the goalpost, and she's the one who's tried to move the goalpost again. She agreed to a standard deposition. The deposition will be public. So what she's asking for is already going to happen. The deposition will be videoed. You'll have the audio and a transcript. Everyone in America will have access to it. Every deposition I've ever done in the 3 years I've been chairman of the House Oversight Committee, we have released the transcript and the video and the audio. So what she's asking for is already going to happen. But what she really wants, Sean, is a committee hearing. And everyone that's ever watched a committee hearing in Congress, including the one in the House this week with the Treasury Secretary, knows that committee hearings are more for entertainment than substance. The deposition is for substance. This is a serious investigation. The purpose of the investigation is to get justice for the victims and to figure out why the government failed the victims and who the bad guys were and if they can be held accountable. So this is about the victims. This isn't about the Clintons. The Clintons are trying to play the victim cards. The victims of Epstein are the victims, not the Clintons.
And then you have MAGA Mike Johnson like running and scurrying around through the halls of Congress when he's asked by Manu Raju and other Capitol Hill reporters. So why isn't Donald Trump going to sit down then? Don't you see how the MAGA Republican plan, though, just utterly backfired? They were going to try to make this about Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, and Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton. Like, okay, let's testify. Let's do it. Let's do it in public. Watch MAGA Mike for yourself. Play this clip.
Shouldn't Trump have to answer some questions too? He's been named more than 1,000 times in these documents.
The president submits to press inquiries every day.
Not under oath. Not under oath.
Not under oath, but he's asked the questions all the time and he answers them. We'll see where it goes.
And then we saw Donald Trump just utterly terrified. Donald Trump was saying, actually, it bothers me now. I'm upset that they want to go after Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. That actually breaks my heart, right? That's what Donald Trump said 2 days ago to NBC. And then yesterday, Donald Trump's chief propagandist, Caroline Leavitt, parroted that. And then Trump had his other regime sycophants like Scott Jennings and other like praising Bill Clinton because they're terrified that he's going to testify like truthfully, and then people are saying, well, then Donald Trump's got to testify. Watch Donald Trump say, it bothers me that somebody's going after Bill Clinton. What do you mean somebody? You are. You're the person because you're trying to distract from the fact that you were Epstein's best friend. You flew on the plane over and over and over again, and that you're over these files 38,000 times. That's more references to Harry Potter than in the Harry Potter books. That's more references to Jesus in the Bible than you are in the Epstein files. Listen to what Donald Trump said when he's like, it bothers me that they want to go after Bill Clinton. Why would they do that? Here, play this clip.
NBC News broke the story today. I don't know if you saw it, that the Democrats are already saying, if you bring President Bill Clinton and he has to testify, we're bringing President Trump. What do you say to that?
I think they might say that, but they've already brought me. See, I've been brought. They had me indicted many times. Many times.
And the president had some surprising thoughts about former President Bill Clinton.
It bothers me that somebody's going after Bill Clinton. See, I like Bill Clinton. I still like Bill Clinton.
What do you like about him?
I liked his behavior toward me. I thought he got me. He understood me. He was the one that said very famously that you don't want to run against Trump when there were 18 people. There was 18 people, including me, total. And he kept telling them, you don't want to run against Trump. Run against anyone. Don't run against Trump. And Hillary sort of laughed at him.
And then on CNN and the various shows, they had the Trump propagandists like Scott Jennings and others say, you know what? Actually, our supporters are Clinton supporters. The Clinton supporters love Donald Trump right now. Here, play this clip.
It's true. People are saying it's part of the millennial midlife crisis.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing Donald Trump's gotten common with Bill Clinton. We got all his voters now. All the good old boy Union Democrats that voted for Bill Clinton in middle America, they now vote for Donald Trump. That is one connection in history that you'll never be able to shake. All these blue collar, non-college, working class guys from West Kentucky and other places in middle America where I'm from, they were Clinton. They were the biggest Clinton people I knew. And now they love Trump. They've abandoned the Democratic Party. So what do they have in common?
Oh, her name was Monica Lewinsky. Monica Lewinsky was slapping the shit out of now.
Yeah, I see her recently, like in a picture. She looks pretty good. I let her give it some fucking sloppy toppy for this poppy.
Yeah, this shit is crazy, bro. That's why he's probably hating on Clinton. He wanted to be fucking Bill Clinton, and he knew ain't nobody wanted his ass. Bro, it's embarrassing. That nigga shitted on himself the other day in a motherfucking meeting, and
again?
Again, and they heard it. And the bad part about it, they rushed everybody out of there. The people standing behind him couldn't even take the smell, bro. Oh my god, the nigga fucking shit on himself again. But this time you heard it. It was like the lady behind him reacted to that shit too. When he threw the fart, she was standing smiling. She was like, and then looked and was like, I was like, oh shit, like damn, that nigga couldn't even hold the sound in.
Nah, it's probably one of those, man, that just the veins popping out your forehead. You gotta let that shit go.
Yeah, this shit crazy.
I mean, we took all of Clinton's coalition and now Trump's the president.
I don't want to play politics with this. If you're in the Epstein files, you can need to get dragged out.
And this follows all the performative BS of James Comer, all of the lies, like when he was on Laura Ingraham and he's like, I can assure you, the Republicans want transparency more than the Democrats. Here, play this clip.
The media has tried to make it out that Republicans didn't want to get to the bottom of this. The Republicans didn't want to be transparent. I can assure you Republicans want transparency more than Democrats, and we're going to do our job. We're going to provide oversight, and I think that...
Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Why you lying to us for? We know damn.
¿Qué? Oh, hola.
We've got an administration that wants to be transparent. So I'm anxious to get started with this, and hopefully we'll be bringing people in very soon to depose them and interview them.
And then James Comer, was last week, he held this whole hearing was all about Clinton. And he was like, we need him here so we can investigate the trafficking. He's integral to our sex trafficking investigation. Okay, well, he wants to testify publicly. Let him testify publicly. And how dare you, James Comer and MAGA Republicans, use sex trafficking as your way to try to distract from Donald Trump appearing in those files over again. Stop invoking the names of victims and survivors while you defame them, while you malign them, while you leak their identities, while you re-traumatize them. How dare you invoke their names as part of your Russian-style propaganda? Oh, by the way, Putin's all over the files as well with Epstein. And most people, after reading these files, believe that Epstein was basically just running a compromat honeypot operation for Putin. But how dare you act?
This nigga had everybody in his pockets. That's why he was so fucking rich. This nigga Epstein had everybody, Irv. That nigga had, yo, stop playing with me, man. How the fuck this nigga getting people in death, getting niggas kicked out of fucking royal families, getting kicked out of parliaments, niggas is getting fired, they getting disowned. Yo, this shit is wild, bro. One man in death, and now we don't even know that because after them photos came from Tel Aviv, Israel, niggas is suspect now. Hey, yo, that looked like a good. Just stop playing.
Like you're doing this for the victims. Like you're doing this to distract.
I don't know. I mean, if I was him, and I was like to fake my death, I would get like plastic surgery, dude. I wouldn't want to walk around like, you know what I'm saying, like that. That's my personal opinion on that.
That's just weird, bro. That's a weird fucking picture, bro.
It is weird.
It's already proven to be fucking real, bro. Who the fuck? That's fucking crazy, bro. I believe in that we have lookalikes in the world, but hold on a second, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on a second. That's just really fucking suspect. Why you got these super cops all around you?
Yo, I'll grow my hair back, I'll shave my beard, and I'll get a tattoo on my neck.
Bro, this shit is crazy though. When you think about it though, man, that
No, it
shit
is.
is suspect, and that probably would draw the attention to him. Somebody probably say, "Yo, look at this white guy with." Hey, wait a minute, that motherfucker look like Jeffrey.
I would have been like, "Yo, Jeffrey, yo, what up?" See me turn around. Yo,
Niggas probably took their phone out and started snapping pictures. Like, yo, who the fuck? Like, you know, come on, this shit is everywhere, bro.
You dropped
Epstein had the blackmail game. Yeah, he did. He had the blackmail game in a chokehold over the rich and the powerful. So he found a way to monetize the info he had on the people. Yeah, and that's why they took him out. But I'm starting to believe whoever took him out, if he'd been taken out, are probably saying, "Hey, man, we might have to take Trump out. He's doing a little too fucking much, man. He ain't sitting down minding his like, you know, you think they ain't thinking about that? Like, yo, my man, yo, chill the fuck out, bro. What the fuck you doing, man? Relax. What the fuck are you on right now? That shit is crazy, bro. This shit is hypocrisy right here to the fullest. At best. Shit is just wild, bro. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all, yo. This whole shit is just absolutely bonkers, bro. And Lord knows, man, this is me doing this at fucking. I started at 12 today, bro. I've been doing this morning. Imagine what else is gonna come out throughout the fucking day, bro. Because remember, I'm going off of other people's shit and reading the little that I'm reading when it comes to this Epstein file. Because there's a lot of motherfucking files. I'm not about to sit back and read that shit, bro. But you got sycophants that are out there going through every one of these motherfucking files to find shit. And bro, every day we're finding more and more craziness, bro. Like I said, look what they found today. The videos from fucking Epstein's jail, from his murder, from the cell that the jail that he was murdered in, that supposedly the cameras didn't work. But they're clear as day, that information's in the Epstein files. That looks like working cameras to me. Come on, man. I don't know what the fuck is going on here, man, but this shit is crazy, man. I'm going to keep it real, bro. If something really crazy go on, I might have to go on again. But y'all already know, man. This is the motherfucking Rico Squad. Smoked Out Society is our home, and that's how we roll. This is Big Irv right here. I'm Havoc 3E. I'm the devil's advocate and the motherfucking problem child. And in the words of motherfucking Latin Pain, Boricuas on the set. Smoked Out Society. We out.
We out.